of a sudden now I'm shy. Like I'm not even a shy person. And now like when I go into spaces, like I just like I'm not as confident as I used to be. And I don't know why. It started when I started to quit my jobs and like because I didn't enjoy it, because I hated them. And like I just became unsure of myself because I'm like, okay, well, if I'm not doing this thing that everyone else should be doing, which is getting a job, a 9 to 5 and doing it, like going to work and just sucking it up and just doing what you're told to do. If I'm not doing this, then what am I doing? Like, what am I doing with my life? I became unsure of myself. And that is the easiest way for people to like literally get into your head is when you're unsure of who you even are. So like that's why when people say stuff and when people perceive you wrongly, if you knew who you were, you wouldn't take it that like personally. But because all of a sudden, like I just became like unsure of who I was, and that started when I quit my first job, or was it my second job? See, I don't know. Because I was struggling with that area of work, I realized that all my self worth was like put into how well I was doing in that area. Like when I was in school, like secondary school, high school, whatever, I put a lot of, like I put a lot of my self worth in my like getting good grades, like being top of my class, which I was. And then I got to university and I realized, oh, I actually don't care about this. Especially when I realized that the lecturers basically they just want you to regurgitate, is that the right word? Basically vomit the exact same thing that other people have written but in different words. That's what they wanted. I wanted to be a pioneer. I was busy analyzing and psychoanalyzing like all sorts of things and like writing my own words, but they didn't want that. Like that's for PhD or maybe masters. And I was like, these people don't care about my thoughts. They just want me to write what everyone else is writing. So I just didn't care less. I literally wrote what I wanted to write, and I stopped there, and I stopped putting my worth and my value in being like getting the first class or whatever. But then went into the world of work, and all of a sudden, for some reason, I just wasn't enjoying it. I just wasn't, not even enjoying, because most people don't love their job. I just felt like I wasn't cutting it. Like I couldn't function in a typical 9 to 5 like most people could. And I thought something was wrong with me. And I was like, why can't I hack it? Like people are just okay with just doing it because that's what you do. But like, why can't I focus? Why can't I do this thing that everyone else is doing? Like, why can't I do this thing that is supposed to be so simple, clock in to work, clock out? And that just ruined my confidence because I'm like, then I don't have a job. So I'm like, okay, if I'm not working, then I don't have money. And money equates like how people perceive you. When you go somewhere, first question, when you meet new people, the first question you ask, what do you do for work? And as someone who has no idea what they are doing for work or what they are doing with their life because they keep quitting every job, I was just like, again, my self-worth. I was like, okay, if I tell people that I'm unemployed, like they look at you a certain way. If you tell people you're doing something that they don't deem like worthy, then again, they're perceiving you a certain way that you don't want to be perceived. And it's just like a circle. It's just like the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. And what's the solution to this? I do not know. But what I know is when I walk into a room, I'm going to walk into a room with confidence because I am who I am. I think the key to like building your self-worth and building up yourself is have all the things outside of like work. I no longer want to be the person that asks that question again. When I meet a new person, I want to be like, what do you like to do for fun? What are you interested in? What shows are you watching? Not what you do for work.